Good morning, everybody. It's Brooke with Mrs. Cog Hill Farm with the crew of goats, baby goats, jumping on me. So I'm a little disappointed, and I'm going to share all the details with you. But it's the end of an era, I do believe, for me. And here's why. So you can see Miss Capri just walked by. And you can see Curtis and Red and Laura and Mabel and Martha all in here with me. So I made a change recently, and that was putting the girls back in the big pasture. Well, everything was going well, I thought. And on the last video that I made, you guys told me you saw one of Capri's kids sneaking a little milk from her. Well, I didn't know that was happening. So I went back and watched, and lo and behold, there they were. So Capri's milk production had dropped a little bit, but not enough for me to suspect anything was off with her health or anything. But as time has gone on, over the past week, things have really changed. So at night, I had an issue because Curtis and Red could now be put back in the pasture with everybody else. But I wanted them to be in this little area that's behind the barn with their siblings, with Capri, and be able to see everybody across the fence before I introduced them. Sylvester's not happy about this situation. What is it, buddy? You don't have a milk stash this morning. What's going on? So that being said, morning after morning, milk supply was getting lower. Then I realized Mabel and Martha are completely back to nursing on Capri. Y'all, these babies are over 4 months old. I put them back in there with no hesitation, thinking they were done. I mean, they've been eating grain. Why would Capri allow them to go back on her udder and nurse again? But I'm going to show y'all what Capri looks like this morning. Yes, I could separate them just at night, but I feel like I've already introduced them back together. And how fair would that be for me to put them together, take them apart, put them together, take them apart? So I'm the one that's going to have to pay for this, so to speak, in the fact that they're taking care of her milk supply for me. Let me just show y'all what I'm talking about. So here's Capri this morning. Here's her baby just about getting a drink on camera. I think if I hadn't been standing here, that would have happened. However, they've done a really good job over the past 24 hours of emptying her out. So much so, there's none left over for me anymore. So I got two things happening today. Number one is, I didn't milk this morning. And boy, what a change that was for me. Now we'll monitor her udder, and if she gets in a position where she needs to be milked, I'll do so. But just like everything else that's gone on in the whole farming process since we started this, I've learned. I've learned to not reintroduce babies to their mama until you are finished milking. And we had a way to keep them separated. That wasn't an issue. I felt like when I moved the baby girls to the back side of the barn to introduce them to the family, meaning Jesse, Honey, and the rest of the goats. Y'all look, look at there. Do you see that? I literally, I can't believe what I'm watching. I haven't seen that. I have not seen full-fledged nursing going on. That was full-fledged nursing. There's no doubt about it. back to what I was saying is I put the girls in here to introduce them to the rest of the herd. And I did the same thing with the little boys, except for I introduced the babies back to them first and Capri, because this is Capri's stall that I put her up in at night. So it was convenient for me to have the boys back here in this area, and then at night put everybody together, meaning Capri and her babies, and then Laura's, Fifi's 3 babies. So everybody could get adjusted. The time has come for Curtis and Red, which can be identified by their collars. Curtis has on blue, Red obviously has on red. Today we're gonna open the gates. We're going to introduce everybody to everybody, and this is the herd that will be here until otherwise. I think the best thing for me to do is to let the original herd out first, which they've been locked up for the evening. So out y'all come. What a variation that we have. Honey immediately goes in that stall. I don't know what she thinks she's gonna find, but there she goes. Here's Miss Jessie right here. Jessie, you ready to meet some little boys that you haven't seen but through the fence? And then here's everybody else. Y'all are waiting so patiently for me to open the gates. And the time has come for y'all to be one giant herd that hopefully gets along really well. And this is also a new day because I've left this gate open. You can see Jessie's going through right now. I've left this gate open so they can go through the back if they choose. Jessie, you act like you know right where you're going, baby. And then this back of the barn leads to the side of the barn that Curtis and Red were in while time was separated. And I don't know if we've done a good job showing this setup on camera. So here it goes. Everybody else has decided that they're going to come and check out what this back area is. Look at the herd. Oh my gracious. Oh, here goes Honey. Honey said, wait, Jessie, wait on me. The gates are open. What do y'all think about this side of the fence, girls? What do y'all think? Oh, Honey, that's so exciting. All right, I bet it won't take long before everybody else comes. And this is a good-sized area. So this grass is a little bit taller than the rest of it. And I'm glad that I'm able to open the gates because they really need to come over here. They need to utilize this green grass. Uh-oh, here's Jessie. Jessie, you see the new babies? Pays no attention. This is good. This is really good. Y'all check it out. I mean, y'all are quite the family here. Here comes Honey. Honey's got to come for a visit. Yes, she does. And here's Miss Jessie. Got to give both of y'all some loving at the same time. Oh, my goodness. Y'all hear the munching? I don't know if you can or not. Bootsy, you like that? What do you think about this side, girl? Huh? What do you think, Bo Peep? And here's Martha and Mabel. Miss Paris over here with her friend Topper that, well, Topper doesn't have much interest in her, but they're friends. And look at this herd. They have a scratching post over here just like they do on the other side of the pasture. And looks like everybody's getting along. So I'm glad for that because this is the way it's going to be. I mean, what you see is what there will be. Everybody's going to be together from this point forward. Curtis and Red have been, well, weathered is a goat term, but fixed or neutered in dog terms. So y'all get the idea. There's no longer a possibility that those little boys can breed their sisters or their aunts or their mama. And Jessie and Honey are gonna go back to the other side and check things out. While it lasted, I enjoyed the milking process. I really did. My family enjoyed the fresh goat milk, and I don't have anybody else that's in milk. In order to be in milk, the goat has to have a kid first. And next up is Paris. I explained that to you guys in the last video that Paris can be bred with Mr. Mo. But the problem is I'm probably not going to be able to part with their kids either. And when do you draw the line? I mean, I've got pasture to take care of the goats that we have now. And we have an area in the back that we could fence in to allow them to free range even more in a wooded area. But I don't know. I'm going to take my time and thinking this process through. Goats are pregnant for 5 months. So if I do breed Paris, I want it to be in a month where we don't have anything planned, and it be in her best interest as far as time of the year, not being too cold, not being too hot. So I guess for now, I may can sneak a drink of milk every now and then, but this may have came to an end in a different way than I expected it to. So straight across from this pasture where we are now is the road that leads to the barn. Barn right here. Road, separation that goes to the pasture on the other side. We have allowed the goats and donkeys to graze in this area because the grass was just more than what the geese could handle. And Nugget and Goldie were in the pond area and they were fine with that. But we have a little system coming in, hurricane if you will, and we opened up this side over here to allow Nugget and Goldie to get in their stall, which is over here, and we closed the doors so Snow White is in the inside in a double stalled area. Honey and Jessie have made their way back, and I just caught a glimpse of Honey running. I don't know what she was doing, but Honey was running. She's excited to be in a new pasture, obviously. Everything's going good. It's going great. I think introducing them through the fence is the kicker, so to speak, as to why everybody gets along so well, and it's not such a shock when we introduce somebody new. Donkeys, as you guys know, are meant to guard, and if something new comes in, well, they don't know if it's supposed to be here or not. So, you know, their tendency is to make sure it's supposed to be here before they accept it. And seeing them, there goes Honey, seeing them through that fence is the proper way, in my opinion, to do so. Little Honey got a little happy run going this morning. Jessie, you gonna run too? There they go, both of them running. Wonder who's faster. Wonder if they were to get in a race, who would win? Looks like Honey. Honey's stride is a little bit longer than what Jessie's is. Honey's still running. And they're on the other side of the pasture on the back side of the barn. Here she comes, kicking up dust. What you doing, Honey? She said, we are so happy to have one big happy family. We couldn't ask for anything more on this farm than everybody being together. There she goes. This is a rarity. You don't usually see Honey just take off running. It's usually Jessie, and Jessie just gave a little buck. Here we go. What you doing, girl? You happy this morning? And you can see that the goats all tend to stay together, which is fine, but that's why they're known as a herding animal. They do just that. They herd. Oh my goodness. That made the goats scatter. Jessie, what you doing, girl? It's a little bit cooler today, and I'm thinking that the temperatures have got them going. Same thing it does to dogs. Obviously, it's doing to the donkeys. And plus, they're in a new pasture. So they're gonna let me know how happy they are about this. Jessie kicking. Oh my goodness. I could sit here and watch this all day long. I hope they decide to quit soon because I got things I got to take care of today. So since I'm trying to show direction and where everything is, I'm standing in the area directly behind the barn that's fenced off. Here's Moody and Mildred's mansion, the area that they can be fenced into if need be, and there's shelters located. And I don't know where they are this morning. I took care of them already by feeding them, and I really don't have to feed them, but I choose to do so just because it makes them happy. There they are, way down in the bottom down there, enjoying their grass. And here goes the herd. They're back on the other side. This is the original pasture. Goodness gracious. Everybody's so happy this morning. They're headed back to the wooded area. And they're not in slow motion. They are moving quite fast. Peaches, what you think about all this? This is a lot going on this morning, isn't it, girl? She doesn't care. She's just here for the food. Here they come. Boogity boogity. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing this morning, running so? You even got the geese geared up. I mean, geese are over there running. You see Nugget and Goldie in their pasture, separated by the... Oh my goodness. I can't help but giggle how excited everybody is this morning. There goes Jessie and Honey, kicking at each other as they run. Not being ugly, just being playful. Aren't y'all fun? Oh my goodness. Topper, what you think about everybody? You don't really care either, do you, buddy? Y'all want to go see the woods? I am telling y'all, they have the zoomies. I don't know if they had a little something extra going on this morning, but it's definitely fun to see and puts a smile on my face this morning. Paris trying to play head-button games with her, well, I guess sister from a different kidding. Off to the woods. So when I said I had another area that we could fence off, I'm back here now and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. You can see the wooded area that's fenced in currently and how they have done such a good job at keeping the forage down. I mean, previously I had to bush hog back here and I only did it like once a year. We don't want to use any spray that could harm bees, wildlife, whatever. So I was bush hogging back here, and I literally have not bush hogged this area across the fence this year, and I need to, but I've really just kind of been putting it off. Hadn't really felt like it, but this is the area that we could add for the goats to forage in, and we plan to do just that. Add a gate right here in this area, separating this pasture so we can close it off if we want to. And then fence in from the end of that fence all the way down to the end of Moody and Mildred's pasture. And boy, would that cut down on the undergrowth that happens in a wooded area. I don't particularly like the way this looks over here. And if it's not taken care of, then of course it can get out of hand and this can become the look that it was before we ever had it mulched. We had a person that owned a mulcher, and he came in and he took the undergrowth out because it was literally too big for me to go in and bush hog. And this is what comes back every year. So if we don't get it under control, we'll have to have that mulcher back. Bramble's excited too. He just went halfway up a tree. So while I say I don't need to keep any more goats, and that would be the reason that I'd wouldn't breed Paris is because I would have to predetermine what I would do when she kidded. I mean, you know, you're prepared to have one, but say she had 3, what would I do? Do I need to keep more goats? Do I have a home that I could send them to where I know they'd be taken care of? Because I am just not. Honey said keep them all. Keep them all, Mama. What's it gonna hurt? Everybody loves babies. Keep them all. Jessie says the same thing too, doesn't she? Goodness. We have the room. We have the room. It's not that. I don't know. I want to do what's best for our animals. Not necessarily what's best for me, but what's best for our animals. And while we have the ability to keep them put up and have shelter for them, it's just a thought out process. We don't make hasty decisions. I was asked in one of the comments on a video, why do you have so many goats? And that's a quick, easy answer. Because I love them and because I can take care of them. And if you love something and you have the ability to take care of it, by all means, go for it. Y'all look at them hitting this tree with their head. Bootsy, I don't think that tree's going anywhere. Maybe that's not your goal. Maybe it just feels good to your head, but goodness gracious. Jessie, where have you been, girl? Where have you been? I think you got lost. You had to stay on the other side until you figured out where we were, didn't you? Huh? Is that what it was? You so sweet. Yes, you are. Well, I must say, I learned something new about goats this week that I did not think was going to happen. I thought 4 months was plenty old enough for them to not be nursing anymore. And I was wrong. And I'm not afraid to admit I was wrong. Every day is a learning process. Oh my goodness, we've had goats for 20 years now. And it's a constant learning curve. I'll continue to learn. And I think as long as you go into it with an open mind, knowing you learn from your mistakes, then all is good. Y'all please understand what happened and know that everybody is happy, healthy, and obviously a little bit on the hungry side at times when it comes to milk. And y'all be safe. We got a hurricane coming in. It's not going to affect everybody in the U.S. obviously, but southeast is going to be affected. We're expected to have a major rainmaker and maybe some wind gust up to around 40-45 miles an hour. We're going to be safe, and I hope you will too. And until next time, y'all be good.